The gym was alive with energy that evening, the sound of punching bags thudding, sneakers squeaking against the mat, and the occasional bark of a coach echoing through the walls. A small crowd had gathered near the center mat, where a playful challenge was about to unfold, one that no one expected would end in complete silence. It all started with a joke. A young black belt, confident and maybe a little cocky, noticed Senator John Kennedy watching from the sidelines. Kennedy had stopped by the gym to support a local veterans program that used martial arts to help former soldiers cope with stress and discipline. Dressed in his usual suit and tie, Kennedy looked completely out of place among the fighters. That's when the black belt, with a smirk, called out across the room, "Hey, Senator, how about a quick spar? Think you can handle it?" The gym roared with laughter. It was light-hearted, not meant to be mean. Just a harmless joke. Nobody thought Kennedy would take it seriously. He was a politician, not a fighter. But then, with that slow Louisiana drawl and a twinkle in his eye, Kennedy adjusted his tie and said, "Son, I've been in tougher fights than you would believe. If you're sure you want to dance, I don't mind." The laughter stopped. Eyes widened. Was he actually going to do it? The black belt chuckled nervously, still thinking it was a gag. But the senator had already rolled up his sleeves and stepped onto the mat. The air grew tense. People leaned in, phones came out, and the coach raised his hands as if to say, "All right, let's keep this friendly." The match began. The black belt, respectful but playful, threw a few light jabs, testing the senator. Kennedy dodged not with the speed of a trained martial artist, but with the instincts of a man who had been underestimated his whole life. He wasn't fast, but he was sharp, calm, and unshaken. The crowd chuckled nervously, unsure of what they were watching. Then came the moment that silenced everyone. The black belt lunged with a playful strike, and Kennedy sidestepped with surprising grace. In one swift, calculated move, he hooked the young man's arm, shifted his weight, and brought him down to the mat. The sound of the thud echoed through the gym. Gasps filled the air. Kennedy hadn't hurt him. He had controlled the move perfectly, just enough to prove a point. For a moment, no one spoke. Even the black belt lay there, wide-eyed, trying to process what just happened. Then Kennedy extended a hand, helping him up with that familiar grin. "Son," he said, "sometimes experience beats speed, and sometimes wisdom beats strength." The black belt, humbled, bowed his head and gave a respectful nod. The crowd erupted into applause, not just for the takedown, but for the message behind it. Kennedy hadn't embarrassed the young man. He had taught him something. Afterward, the senator addressed the gym. He spoke not about fighting, but about resilience. He talked about how life will always throw you into matches you didn't ask for, whether in politics, personal struggles, or moments when you feel outmatched. "It's not about how many punches you can throw," he said, voice steady. "It's about standing your ground with courage, learning from every fall, and never letting anyone convince you that you're too small for the fight." The gym went quiet again, but this time it was out of respect. The fighters, coaches, and even the veterans who had come for therapy understood the weight of his words. It wasn't just about martial arts anymore. It was about life, about facing challenges head-on, about humility and strength walking hand in hand. When Kennedy finally left, the black belt approached him one last time. "Sir," he said softly, "thank you for teaching me more in 1 minute than I've learned in months of training." Kennedy just patted his shoulder and replied, "Don't thank me, son. Just keep fighting the good fight." That night, nobody forgot what they had witnessed. A playful joke turned into a lesson in respect, humility, and perseverance. The senator's unexpected display of composure and skill silenced the gym, not because of the takedown but because he showed everyone there that true strength isn't measured in belts or titles. It's measured in character. And as the story spread beyond the walls of that gym, it left people everywhere with a simple, inspiring reminder: the fights that matter most are the ones we fight with our hearts, our minds, and our integrity.